Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching the Unhappy Hour.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unhappy Hour. My name is Brian Engelman. I'm your host, as I have been for the past 7 years. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to talk about LeBron James' decision to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers yet again to come out to my backyard, the Los Angeles Lakers. The news broke last weekend, and I was undergoing some termite tenting, and I was out of town, and I really didn't feel like talking. So today we're going to bring in Zak Baris, former NBA scout, lifelong Cleveland sports fan, and we're going to talk about all of the things that have gone down, the information we've learned since, what it means, a whole bunch of different angles to cover. Also, after that concludes, we're going to talk with a guy I have known since elementary school. He was in the accelerated smart kid classes with me, named Darren Campo. You may have seen him yesterday on the World Series of Poker at the main table, apparently crushing it. Got down to around 30,000 chips at his lowest point yesterday, and then I believe he's now up to 168,000 chips and in real good position. So we're going to talk with him in a little bit. I'm a 118 in Vegas, Darren is saying. Zak Baris, welcome to the program, man. Thanks for telling us about it being 70 degrees and perfect weather in Cleveland right now. Let's talk about the things that are not perfect. LeBron leaving Cleveland again. Let's kind of start with what we learned over the weekend when he made his decision and walk us through what we've learned since, because there's a lot to unpack here.
Brian, we discussed this last time when I thought he was likely going to LA at that point. Just all the signs are pointing there. I've given information to a writer who had also, I had a lot of information going into it. I knew a lot. Here's what has been happening. I think a lot had to do with the David Griffin thing, being fired a year ago, the Kyrie Irving trade. I think a lot of it just stemmed from it. I don't know if Kyrie was ever unhappy in Cleveland. I think he became unhappy playing with LeBron James, and I think that had a lot to do with it. And you're starting to wonder, were these guys even happy playing with LeBron? And I'm being serious when I say that. It was, it was tough. Don't forget Dwayne Wade. LeBron wasn't even mad when Dwayne Wade got, when the Cavaliers traded Wade. It was a very odd season in Cleveland over the last year.
It was.
To say the least. And I'm looking back on it now, and I'm looking, and I'm going, LeBron's decision with the Lakers couldn't get any weirder for me. With the guys they've signed so far, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stephenson, JaVale McGee. They haven't signed one three-point shooter. Contavious Caldwell-Pope is their best three-point shooter, who I believe is at 34% over his career. So I just don't get it. In today's NBA, this would make a great team for the early 2000s, 80s, 90s, whatever. But in today's NBA, how do you plan on going and defeating a team like the Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets? These teams that just drain tons of threes. You can't even compete on the floor with them. You're going to get outscored by 40 points.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on, but I like where you're going with this. I obviously don't like the subject matter, but
Here's where I'm going with this, though, Brian.
Okay.
It's an interesting point. I think what the Lakers are trying to do, and this just might be the weird thing, and I think since LeBron has supposedly been piped in on all these moves, I think they're really just trying to lower expectations for the Lakers, which just seems weird to me because they're the Lakers. And here's the thing, wasting a year of LeBron's prime. Here's the thing, we've seen this before. Brian, a prime does not always last. We've seen players literally, go from being at the top of their game in one season to having a drastic fall-off. You cannot take a year of a guy's prime and just throw it down the toilet. And it's literally what LeBron and the Lakers are doing at this point.
Okay, well, I want to get to wasting time in the prime because the Kawhi move. It seems like he's trying to do a hostile takeover to the Lakers. The Damian Lillard stuff. I don't think the Lakers are done by any stretch, and I want to talk about Lonzo Ball leaking the injury.
I don't think they're going to be able to get Damian Lillard from the Warriors. From the Trailblazers this year.
Why?
I just don't see Portland trading within the West.
Is
I
that
don't think they have a reason to right now. And here's the thing: is none of the Lakers' assets are that great, other than Kuzma, who's untradeable. And really, is Brandon Ingram that good? Nothing about Ingram last year really said this guy's going to be a future superstar. He might be an all-star someday, but he's never going to be a superstar. Mark my words on that.
Yeah, but I mean, is Kyle Kuzma really untradeable? I mean, if you can trade for Kawhi, you got to give up Andrew Wiggins, the number 1 pick, to get Kevin Love. You don't get these guys for free.
Exactly the point. You know, and the thing is, the Lakers' assets aren't as valuable as they think. Lonzo Ball's not that big of an asset.
I wouldn't want him. I don't want the dad in the circus. I would never want that.
He can't shoot anyway.
And he's got time to improve his game, but, you know.
He does. But here's the thing, though. LeBron's in the final stage of his career of being in his prime. He might have 4 years left in his prime. I don't know, okay? He might have 1 year left. He might have 2. He might have 3. He might have 4.
He might be done.
But all it takes at this point is one injury and he's done. You know, he could be done. You never know. And what I'm getting is his career is so valuable. Why is he going to the Western Conference, literally throwing down his year down the toilet? Even with Kawhi Leonard at this point, they don't have a chance.
I don't understand the move at all. I don't see the Lakers being better than the Cavs.
I don't know if it was that much of an F you to Gilbert, saying, like, listen, I don't care. I made you build this team for years, and now, you know, I'm going to this. This isn't Miami circa 2010, where he was going in with Wade and Bosh, you know, and they built that team over a couple of years. You know, that was a different story. He's the only superstar on that team. Ingram's a sixth man. Kyle Kuzma's not an all-star center by any means. I mean, like, I just don't understand what the Lakers are doing. I am so baffled by the situation, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's strange. I'm trying to figure out, am I supposed to, because I don't think I'm going to be able to be indifferent on this. I feel like as a big basketball fan, I mean, my entire life, I had a basketball court, a basketball hoop in my front yard, and I played endlessly, well past the sundown and putting the outside lights on. My neighbors loved it. But, I mean, I've been a huge basketball fan my entire life. I don't know how I could not pick a lane with LeBron. Am I going to veer to the right and cheer for him? Am I going to veer to the left and root against him? I don't know if I could possibly be indifferent. I'm not asking you to tell me what I should do, but how do you feel about it? Are you going to root for him or root against him?
Am I mad at him? No, I don't care anymore. I'm sad a little bit, but at the same time, I don't care. The drama was just getting too much for me, honestly, anyway. It was having to deal with this, you know, this year-round, you know, year in, year out. It's getting annoying at this point. You know, here's the thing. I will always value what the Cavs have brought the last 4 years. We'll never see basketball like that ever again. Ever. Unless they land another superstar from the Northeast Ohio area who's going to spend his entire career. Or if they land another superstar. But don't forget, LeBron is a once-in-a-generation player. You know, it's like Jordan. You know, these players they don't come along every 5 years.
It's true.
You know, and the fact that Golden State built the super team and prevented the Cavaliers from winning 3 or 4 championships in a row. You know, the first year they did not prevent the Cavs from winning. The Cavaliers prevented themselves from winning by the injuries. Second year they won. Golden State realized that they had no chance against Cleveland again. So what they do? They went out and they got Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And that totally changed the landscape of the NBA. And I think that's how LeBron looked at it. He goes, no matter where I go, no matter what I do next season, I can't win. You know, I think his best chance is getting Kawhi Leonard this year and then bringing Durant a year from now.
But isn't it getting to the point where it's not even worth rooting for the NBA? Watching the refs hand over game 1, watching the 2 or 3 super teams build.
Yeah, I agree that it's just getting stupid,
It's just
Brian.
stupid.
I mean, here's the thing. Do I find this thing incredibly stupid now with the super team Warriors? You know, I thought it was so ridiculous when they added Kevin Durant a couple years ago. If DeMarcus Cousins remotely healthy this season and comes back mid-season, and he's 75% of himself, the Warriors are an 80-win team.
I mean, he was the number 1 get a year or 2 ago. You know, and everybody's, Paul George. I'm going, did you watch his leg break, snap in half like a toothpick in the Olympics? Like,
This is a 73-win team over the last 2 years that has now added Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, this is where today's modern NBA is going. It'd be like the 16-0 Patriots. You know, this exactly reminds me of the Patriots in 2007 when, you know, they added Randy Moss and they added those guys, and they were just untouchable, and they somehow lost the Super Bowl. You know, a 73-win team. But I'm just saying, though, this is just getting to a point where it's just ridiculous. I mean, we already know, like in baseball, anything can happen. That's the difference. Baseball, anything can happen. You come across a Pedro Martinez who dominates, or you come across a pitcher who just absolutely just dominates through the series. It's totally different. You can't control that. This scenario, though, is totally different. And when I look at it, the Warriors, nobody's saying that's chance against Golden State next year, except maybe a healthy Houston, maybe, and I still don't think so. Because last year they would have beaten them, but if Golden State is fully healthy, no one's touching them.
And Zach, statistically, if you want to break it down, excuse me, LeBron James has probably played the 4 best NBA Finals that you'll ever see. Every year it was something a little bit different, statistically averaged out, but the level of excellence in his field goal percentage, his domination, his big games, we've almost never seen anything like it, and none of that was enough to get us more than one title that, you know, took blowing a 3-1 lead and coming back and Draymond's suspension and a last-second shot by, you know, I mean, it took everything we had to get that one. And it's just, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's the most Cleveland thing that you could expect out of like, you know, being a Cavs fan, that no matter how good you are, no matter how good the talent you have on your team, you're still going to run up against a Goliath that's going to take you out, you know, or a David that's going to take out Goliath, rather. So, I don't know. You know, I want to just swing back real quick, and I liked the comment in the chat room, by the way. If you're watching on this camera, it's YouTube, so click subscribe and go back over the past 7 years of content. We've talked with Zach on many shows before. Check it out if you're watching on this camera. This is facebook.com/TheUnhappyHour. It's a private sports group, so invite your friends. If you're an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye or Blue Jacket fan, we'll let you in, and we talk and we go and do these shows live. So link up, invite all your friends. Thank you very much. But you know, I wanted to mention that Darren Campo, he's coming up next. He's in the World Series of Poker. Sat down at the main table yesterday on ESPN. Got to watch him. Was in grade school with him and through high school. So, but he put in here, screw the NBA, let's talk the Browns. And you know, yes, I'm getting very excited for football. I need to bookend this season, kind of work out the LeBron stuff, and we will. We're going to make a hard pivot here at the Unhappy Hour and kind of move along to some football and some Cleveland Indians postseason action soon. But Zach, something you started touching on in the beginning was very fascinating to me. There's been a lot of information starting to leak out, maybe flooding and pouring out now that LeBron has, you know, tossed his middle finger at Cleveland again. And I'm sorry, for the people that are saying he doesn't owe Cleveland anything and you can't be mad at him, you know, this is the same guy that said, I don't have it in me to do this again, I'm not leaving Cleveland again. You know, it's just another batch of lies from LeBron. But tell me about the Dwayne Wade thing. We were discussing the Kyrie, maybe never wanting LeBron being here. But talk a little bit about the Dwayne Wade thing and about other players not wanting to join LeBron James. And that's kind of what we've seen in early free agency with the Lakers.
And that's the thing, too. The locker room was a mess. We saw that last season. When you put a group of veterans in front of them, it was a mess. You hear of, you know, you just hear these stories now of them, you know, creating a rift between these guys, and now you're starting to wonder, is LeBron that easy to play? Is LeBron that easy to play? No. I mean, I think we all know that. You know, he's not about, you know, not about criticizing his own teammates. He does this, and it'll be interesting to see who plays with him. I think Kevin Durant is one of the few players in the NBA that can deal with it because he's so, you know, just because he's Kevin Durant, he's the second best player in the league. But, you know, it's very interesting to see who will play with LeBron. But again, LeBron's not 29. He's not 30. He's 30. He's going to be 34.
Yeah.
You know, this could be very well. I'm not saying it is, but this could very be well. This could be very well the decline of his career. At some point, he's going to start declining. I'm not going to say it's going to be, you know, just a solid, you know, solid downhill turn. But eventually his stats are going to start declining. You can only keep it up for so long. He's not going to be playing until he's 43, you know, like successfully. We eventually saw Jordan fall off too. It happens. I'm not saying it's happening this year, but I'm just saying, how do you waste a guy? How do you waste a year of his career? And he could have been to another championship in Cleveland this year. They could have upgraded the roster. That's just what's so baffling. Was it either a screw you to Dan Gilbert? Was it, okay, I'm done. I don't care if I win any more rings. I'm going to go to LA and focus on my brand. I don't care about the rings, which is pretty weird considering he's in Los Angeles. It's just ironic because the Lakers have more championships than anyone, or second most, behind Boston. I think. And, how do you do that?
Yeah, so,
The Lakers have the most. Is it the Lakers have 17 and the Celtics have 16, they both have 16?
I'd have to double check off the top of my head.
Whatever. It's, they both combined, I think, for 32 or 33 championships. It's besides the point at this point. But they have so many rings. What does one extra even do for you, I mean, you won the Lakers a ring, you got them out of their 5-year hole. Like, is it even that big of a deal? I just don't get it at this point from LeBron. I really don't. I think he just wanted, I want to do my own thing. I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's about my legacy, nobody else's. And I think it's fine. I think he's allowed to think like that. He obviously did what he wanted to do, and I think he's okay with his decision. We'll see how happy he is the year playing with these knuckleheads in LA, though. I mean, if the Cavaliers, someone pointed out on Twitter, I don't know who.
All right, did I officially lose you on the connection? All right, I think I lost Zach.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. You know what? I lost you I had to switch browsers. Something weird is going on with Google Chrome, so I switched it to Firefox. And when I looked up, Zach, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So when I switched it to Firefox, I pulled up in the studio here who won the most championships, and it started glitching with the voice over internet protocol. But yeah, the Celtics have 17 championships, the Lakers have 16, and the Cavaliers have 1, which is pretty impressive.
Okay. So I was the Celtics have 17, the Lakers are 16. Okay. So what I was saying though is, one does nothing for you, and also playing with Lance Stephenson, JaVale McGee, and Rajon Rondo. Are you kidding me? Let's assemble the worst roster we can. I get that they're going to have room for another max slot next year, but fine. It's just still shocking that Magic Johnson and the Lakers have struck out every time in free agency over the last 5 years. Since Dwight Howard, they've struck out every time.
And they missed big time on Dwight.
LeBron, but nothing else.
They missed big time on Dwight, the Dwight Howard and Steve Nash thing. And back to something else, because you're talking about injuries and prime years in the career. Remember when we got LeBron back? LeBron had lost a bunch of weight. He had his cramps. And when he came back to Cleveland, I had that moment. I had that sincere question. Are we getting Jenny at the end of Forrest Gump? Are we getting a broken down version of somebody we used to love? And it turns out Miami did not get peak LeBron James. We got peak LeBron James, and that's fantastic. For all we know, peak LeBron James might be a Laker for the next 3 years. I've said this, and I know people think I'm kidding, but I could see LeBron James playing basketball professionally at a high level until he's 50 years old.
No, I'm not saying he's on the decline. I'm not saying that. It's not what I've gotten at yet.
No.
I'm saying that it could happen any month. It could happen any year now, considering, again, he's not going to be in his prime at age 40. It's just not possible. And what I'm saying is I don't expect a significant decline this year at all. But if we look at typical declines of players, it usually happens in the mid-30s. And he could be in his last year of peak LeBron, a full peak. And then after that, to decline every year, a steady decline.
And injuries.
That's the thing. You have to take advantage of them when you get the chance.
Yeah, age and injuries spare no man in professional sports. It can happen in your early 20s, mid, late 20s, into your 30s or whatever. Injuries are just a part of the game. By the way, in the chat room, Adam, who is the real GOAT in Vegas tonight? What are you referencing there? But anyway, back to this. Time's going to tell with the Lakers. Are they going to pull the trigger and get another big player? And I want to talk about Carmelo Anthony. I want to talk about Paul George because there's a lot that's happened. But before we do, I want to just make sure we get the Kyrie Irving story correct. There's a lot of different versions of what happened there. Let me just ask you point blank. Are you aware of LeBron James behind the scenes trying to push David Griffin to make a trade to move Kyrie Irving to another team?
I can never confirm that. I knew about Kevin Love being moved. I didn't know that LeBron pushed Griff. I've heard rumors, but I've never been able to confirm anything on that.
So just and for the record, when you're saying we've heard rumors, let's say what it is. So the stuff we've heard behind the scenes about the possible Kyrie Irving trades out of Cleveland. What were the rumors we heard there? Because we're all trying to unpack this and figure out.
We heard Kyrie at one point going to the Suns. We heard at one point Kyrie going, in a 3-team deal. We heard a lot of rumors about Kyrie going different places. Nothing ever materialized. Everything was, the kibosh put on everything. But we don't even know if that was true. It was more of Love being traded. I mean, at first it was Kyrie and then it was Love. I don't think Kyrie was ever happy playing with LeBron James. I don't think he ever liked him. Kyrie wanted to be in the spotlight. I don't think he ever got along with LeBron. I don't think he ever liked him. I think they had a relationship on the court together. They won a title. And I personally know for a fact that Kyrie hated LeBron.
Such soap opera stuff. And so, I mean, that essentially means Kyrie didn't like LeBron. And LeBron didn't respect Kevin Love's game at all. Was it LeBron that was calling Kevin Love out in the locker room, or I thought that was Isaiah Thomas and Dwayne Wade? What was that all about? Because obviously LeBron looked at the Cavs and said, "I'm done. I don't like what I have here," and obviously he's not valuing Kevin Love as a 20-10 guy. Was it LeBron that was bashing Kevin Love, or was it the other guys?
I'm not really sure exactly. There's so much drama surrounding all the LeBron teams, even in Miami. I mean, it's just there's always drama. Always. And you put up with it because he's so good. But there was just such an insane amount of drama, and you're just sitting there going, my God, when will this end?
Yeah. Well, all right. So then I guess it's fair to the people that are going to say that there's no evidence LeBron was trying to trade Kyrie, because people are just now trying to figure out and take a step back and say, who's to blame for this? And I'm trying to put some fair criticism on LeBron, who some people think is bulletproof. Some people are trying to blame Dan Gilbert for everything.
Listen, I don't agree with what Dan Gilbert did on some of the moves. He spent money, but not retaining David Griffin was the biggest mistake he ever made. It was. Other than writing the initial letter. That backfired. This letter, if he would have written this one in 2010, odds are LeBron would have never signed the contract in Miami and he would have come back.
But if this is the letter that Dan Gilbert signed, doesn't this mean that LeBron's coming back to Cleveland a third time? This is something people are bashing me about that I'm bringing up. It's like, he said he wants to retire here. He wants to play with this kid.
He might not come back, Brian, if he's on such a significant decline in 3 years and the Cavaliers are building something. He's not coming back. I don't know if he ever does. I mean, he might just come back on a one-day contract and that's it. I eventually think he retires here on a one-day contract. I don't know if he ever plays here yet. I'm not that confident that he ever plays here ever again.
But that letter...
If he's miserable in LA next year and wants to come back, he starts to play 2 more seasons here. I don't know what's going to happen.
But here's the thing. Kyrie showed us he doesn't have to play even if he's under contract. He can just demand to get out. And then he can undercut the fair market value for him, and then you're hamstrung.
I mean, I tend to think, I don't think LeBron's going to be demanding a trade back to Cleveland. He's in LA. He went there as an FU with Gilbert saying, I'm committing long-term right away, even without any of the pieces in place. That team right now, if they don't get Kawhi Leonard, they don't add any significant piece, and I don't care about Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony sucks at this point of his career. He sucks. He's no longer Carmelo Anthony. He's a shell of his former self. And that's a player on the decline at this age. I mean, what I'm getting at is, the Cavaliers is what I'm getting at. The Lakers right now, as it stands today, mark my words, if they go into the season with this current team, they are not a playoff team in the West. That is a 45-win team, in my opinion, the 9th seed in the West.
With LeBron James? With LeBron.
They are the 9th seed in the West.
But aren't they the number 2 favorites to win the championship in Vegas with the odds?
Because people are placing money on them. That's why.
Fair.
Doesn't mean they're the best team. People are placing money on them. Brian, if I went and bet $1 billion on the Cavs tomorrow, their odds would skyrocket.
Well, hey, our buddy Darren, he's set to win $8.8 million. So maybe Darren will put $1 million down on the Cavs and screw those odds up.
It changes the odds. When a big better places on the
It
odds,
does, right.
That's what happens.
Yeah, because you're not betting what it's necessarily going to be. The Vegas people that set the lines, they set the number where there's going to be the most action played.
It's all based on analytics. It's
right.
not based on what their expertise are, And that's the thing. It's, I tend to think if he goes down, if LA puts his current roster in, Brian, in today's modern NBA, you have to shoot the 3. There's going to be a lot of nights. I don't care if they can drive to the hoop. Today's NBA is dominated by the 3 ball and great 3-point shooters. They don't shoot the 3 ball well. Here's the thing. It'd be different if the Cavaliers go and trade him Kyle Korver. I don't think the Cavaliers are really going to help out Magic Johnson and the Lakers unless they're offered a significant piece in the deal. If they're offered a guy like Brandon Ingram for Kevin Love, yeah, we'll make the trade. We'll do that.
Well, okay, so
I don't know.
Are the Cavs going to be in full tank mode, or are they going to try to build around Kevin?
I don't think so. Brian, I really don't know at this moment. Nothing has said that they're in full tank mode at this moment. They don't have the cap room. They need to get back under the cap. Get out of the luxury tax this year. Get out of what you need to. Get rid of some high-priced veterans that you don't need on this team, and get younger. That's the thing is you got to piece this thing together.
But how do you get out of those? How do you get out of those old contracts if there's multiple years?
You sometimes wait a year. You need to wait a year, make a couple good trades. You wait for a stupid team to come along like the Clippers, who are going to give you, the number 1 overall pick for Mo Williams accidentally.
Yeah, as long as you make sure that it's not protected. That's the key. You got to make sure that you make the deals that way. All right, Paul George re-signing in Oklahoma with the Thunder. Everybody thought that was a guaranteed thing going to Los Angeles. Have you heard any?
That one shocked me. That one shocked me more than LeBron.
Why did he do that?
I thought Paul George would be a Laker. You know what? Here's the thing. If Paul George didn't want to go play with LeBron when he had the opportunity, it just says all you need to know.
That might be the case.
I'm serious.
I am too. When I saw Paul George...
I'm hearing conflicting reports right now. If it's really true that Kawhi Leonard prefers the Clippers over the Lakers, what the hell is going on?
When I heard that Paul George had re-upped, or at least... Because it was like the day or two before it actually happened. What was it, like Thursday or Friday? You heard the reports he was signing with the Thunder, but then it was unconfirmed, and then it came back, and then he was on stage, and he said, I'm re-signing, I'm staying here, or whatever. I figured at that point that LeBron was no way going to Los Angeles. There's no way he's going there without his buddy Paul George, because everybody had said that's what was going to happen.
But he had already had his mind made up either way. And he was going to LA. I was very surprised he didn't re-up in Cleveland at one point from 1 year to go to another championship.
Yeah, I am too.
You know what? He made his decision. I don't understand it. Normally I can pick points and I can understand just about everything. But this one I just do not get. I'm telling you, Brian, on the fact that he wants to build his brand and be in LA, I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. This
decision was not based on basketball. Let me put it that way.
LeBron, okay, well, all right. LeBron is his own ecosystem. LeBron is his own universe. LeBron doesn't need LA. LeBron's bigger than LA. Maybe in the 80s when it counted, when cable was different, when cell phones weren't around. Maybe in the 80s playing in a big market was relevant.
Watch finals in history. The last 8 of them are some of the most watched finals in history, and all 4 of them that the Cavs and Warriors were. Well, at least the first 3. And we witnessed those. Don't forget the 2016 finals is the most watched finals in history. Okay? But that didn't include an LA team. It included San Francisco, Oakland area, and Cleveland.
He didn't need LA for this brand thing.
He didn't, but I think he wants to get into movies. I think he just wants to get out. I think he wants to be in the spotlight. I think he's going to regret LA, personally. He's a pretty private guy. He's going to get busted cheating on Savannah probably now. Paparazzi's going to be all over the place with him.
Yeah, he was very well protected in Cleveland, and there's a whole lot of stories about LeBron that we don't need to get into right now, but,
I'm not going to get into anything on the air on what I've seen ever, but it's out there. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, we saw the Tristan stories leak last year. Don't think that's where things end.
I have first-hand proof of stuff I've seen. I'm not getting into anything. But I've seen stuff where if I took a picture, TMZ would be paying me 7 figures for it. Let's just put it that way.
We'll see how this plays out. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure. Look, I've been here 13 years, longer than I've been a LeBron James fan, 11 years. So if anyone has the right to follow a player or to root for the team in your backyard, I could if I want to, and I still haven't figured it out. I mean, he brought me my only championship.
Golf. Let me make this clear. This is not golf. You don't follow a player. This is not golf. This is a team sport. It takes a team to win a title. An individual does not win the title. It's a team. Pick a team, root for the team.
Well,
I just don't get how people can just follow one player and be like, oh, I love this one player. Well, I love Tom Brady. I'm a Patriots fan. I love Michael Jordan. I'm a Bulls fan. You know, it just drives me crazy. You know, see people switch allegiance to how many bandwagon Cavs fans we had over the last 4 years.
Okay, well, I'm not saying I would renounce my Cleveland Cavaliers card. What I'm saying is I might be able to.
That's not what I'm doing either. I'm just saying, though, like, you will not see me root for the Lakers. I don't give two shits about the Lakers at all. I don't care about them.
I never have, and I hope I can remain ambivalent.
I've watched them when they're on. Yeah, but I've hated the Lakers my entire life. I'm not suddenly leaving the Lakers, and all the hypocrite Laker fans that talked about how much LeBron sucked for the past, for his entire career, and how much better, like LA sports guy hated LeBron.
LA Sports Talk Radio guy. Yeah, we got to get his thoughts.
LA sports guy, Carlos loves Kobe.
He thought he was going to get Kyrie Irving, though. Shockingly enough, he gets LeBron James. Go figure.
I don't think he ever expected to get LeBron. Now I think he loves LeBron.
Hey, two quick things here, and maybe we can just kind of.
Sports guy's not coming on tonight.
That's fine. We need to do a whole show, maybe just like a 5-minute segment with LA Sports Radio talk show call-in guy.
When LA Sports guy has his full voice, LA Sports guy will be on the show.
Fair enough. There was a story.
This would be too good not to do a show with LA Sports guy.
I think we need to bring it in as a regular series. We've wanted to for a while, but this is kind of perfectly horrible for us to do that. Yes. Okay. So Adam Reese is saying, I just want to get this.
During the season, I think we'll do a weekly segment of LA Sports guy on the show talking about
LeBron James.
I can't even do it right now. I've lost my voice completely.
All right. We'll hold off on that. Let me scroll through the comments here real quick. Adam Reese is saying F the Lakers. I got no problem with that.
I'm not saying F the Lakers. I've always hated the Lakers. I don't like them any more now than I ever have.
I'm with you there.
I don't like them any more now than I ever have either. I just don't have any feelings towards the Lakers. I always hate. But the 4 years I lived out in LA, I hated the Lakers.
I always have too. I hated Kobe. I went and saw his last season. I got free tickets.
Nothing has changed with me and the Lakers. Nothing. I'm not suddenly a Laker fan. I might have an autographed jersey of Magic Johnson hanging in my office, but I don't care. It's a cool jersey. Doesn't mean I love Magic Johnson.
Okay, let me ask you this, because since the LeBron thing doesn't make a lot of sense here, I read a report that LeBron made his decision, and that's if you're believing that he didn't make his decision up, a year or two ago when they were checking out schools and doing all their stuff, signing one-year contracts. But apparently LeBron had a meeting with Gavin Newsom, who's, maybe in line to be the next California governor. We saw how LeBron was heavily backing Hillary Clinton and the Democrats in the 2016 campaign. He saw that Ohio voted Trump. He saw that California always goes hardcore lefty. Do you think part of this, LeBron and his brand being bigger than basketball, do you see a political run in LeBron's future? Because I'm calling my shot. I think that there is.
No. Put that guy in a debate. Well, I don't know. I guess you put Trump in a debate, and Trump's vocabulary is very good, very bad. I've never seen, I guess if Donald Trump can win the election, anyone can. I'm being serious. You listen to Donald Trump speak, he's a moron. Just listen to the guy speak. He's like, extraordinary low IQ. I just the guy can't even spell. So, I don't know. Who knows? Anybody can be president nowadays. It's like if they remade Back to the Future now, it's like Donald Trump, the president. Like Ronald Reagan, the actor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is the place where Ronald Reagan, where Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is a place for that type of stuff. And they said that
I don't see LeBron running for office, but again, you never know. I don't want to say no because I've seen crazier things happen.
I think he thinks he can be. I think he thinks he can be.
If you would have told me during the first initial debate in Cleveland of the Republican candidates that Donald Trump would let alone even be the Republican frontrunner, let alone the president of the United States at that point, I would have said you're crazy. But he is.
That's along the lines of the Warriors blowing a 3-1 lead. I mean, there's been a lot of.
Honestly, if you would have told me at that point that that guy would have won the Republican, would have run the Republican nomination and won the election, I would have been shocked beyond belief. Like, I thought the whole thing was a joke. Literally, the whole time I was running, I thought it was a joke.
I had that feeling for a few months, too.
I voted John Kasich. I voted for Kasich in Ohio. I wanted Kasich. I thought the whole thing with Trump was a joke. I voted for Kasich. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. I voted for Kasich. And when it came to the election, I still thought the whole thing with Trump was a joke. I honestly thought he was going to resign a week before the election. I thought he was going to step down as a Republican candidate after the whole Pussygate thing. I thought he would step down. He didn't. I'm still blown away that he won. And odds are he's going to get reelected.
Yeah, looking at who's in the bullpen for the Democrats, I don't think there's a strong contender there at all.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of Trump, but odds are he's going to get reelected.
Well, I mean, to go back to the last two NBA Finals, 2 years ago, what was the big story? We're supposed to be talking about the finals, and instead there's graffiti on LeBron's Los Angeles home. Remember that one?
You know what? Yeah, which is ridiculous.
And then in this finals,
people that have whipped on LeBron for years are suddenly sucking him off. Going, oh, he's the greatest player of all time. And now it's like, I thought Kobe beating Bryant was,
Well, but then this NBA Finals, it was that LeBron punched a wall or punched a blackboard or a whiteboard or something and broke his hand. And you're like, you didn't break your hand. I don't know. I wonder where the excuses are coming from. I wonder where the bigger than basketball.
Honestly, I'm just sick of the whole situation, and be honest with you, Brian. And honestly, part of me is almost relieved that it's over. I'm so sick of the National League. Cleveland's not going to live to see another day. Well, we're functioning just fine here.
Yeah,
downtown Cleveland was already on the upswing before LeBron came back anyway. I'm so sick of hearing this. I'm involved with a lot of big local real estate projects. Not one of them has to do with LeBron.
Hey, I'm liking what Adam says in the chat room. He's saying he's not going to lie. He wrote in Terry Francona down in Kentucky for the election in 2016. That's pretty sweet. Writing in the tribe skipper for the presidential election. I do like that. No, I don't know. In all of the backstories, it does get old. And I had somebody kind of post a clip and talk about how when LeBron had his injury in 2016 where, he may have hurt his wrist and he's writhing in pain on the floor. They said all the other players ran up to him except for Kyrie that walked away. It was like, get out of here with this stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it anymore. It's just, I wish, and obviously, look, Kyrie being injured changes things, but I wish the Cavs would have told Kyrie, look, man, you're under contract for 2 years. We got one more with LeBron. We're making NBA Finals. If he leaves in the offseason, this is your team. We're going to build it around you. If he stays, we're going to have a trade in place to try to get you to one of your preferred destinations, and we'll pull the trigger the day he signs, man. I wish the Cavs would have had that conversation or had the stones to follow through with it. I wish they wouldn't have given up on that because Isaiah Thomas and Colin Sexton, I don't know. You just can't trade dollar players for quarters. That's what we talked about with James Harden and, with what the Thunder had done over the years. You just can't move talented players like that. So I don't know, man. I guess time will tell. Any other stuff you wanted to wrap up with the Cavs and with the NBA and all of the stuff that's happened?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we've held off on this show. I haven't really been in the mood to talk about it. But so what? So be it. It is what it is. Maybe we'll get you back in. We'll talk some Browns or some Indians.
I'll be on this week so we can talk everything. I've been working insane hours. I'm just exhausted right now. So let's get another show going soon. We can do a follow-up on the draft and everything. I just apologize for being so delayed.
No, it's
I got to go to New York Monday morning for work, and I've just been exhausted.
Like I said, I'm taking cats and kids out, 3 hours out to the desert while my home's being termite tented. I've had my whole ecosystem of distractions and nonstop things going on over here too. No need to apologize. It's all good. The Indians are on a nice little stretch right here where they're beating up on the teams they're supposed to. The bats are warming up.
Good, yeah.
Very excited for the Tribe.
It's good that Cleveland sees to live another day. And you know what? If Cleveland wins the championship this year and the Indians win it, LeBron will be an afterthought in this town again. He will.
LeBron Jones, everybody. Look, I'm calling my shot with the Browns going 10-6 and making the playoffs. I'm calling.
Brian, I hope you're right. I know you're not, but I hope you're right. And like I said, I'll always be grateful for what LeBron did, bring a championship to Cleveland. I will never, ever forget that. That doesn't mean I'm going to go root for the Lakers. Will I cheer him next season in Cleveland when he steps into the game and his name is announced? Yes, I will stand up for him. I will always appreciate what he did for Cleveland. But that doesn't make me a Laker fan at all. Making that very clear now. I respect LeBron. I respect his career. I respect his game. You know, the guy is the greatest of all time. I'm not going to suddenly sit here and revert what I was saying, and saying Jordan's the greatest of all time. I still believe that LeBron is the greatest of all time. I just think it's a shame that he's essentially wasting a year of his career with this crappy team in LA.
Yeah.
To play with them.
Well, I don't think they're done with their moves. So we'll see. I think that they're going to make.
I don't think they are either. But Brian, if they stick with this current team, they will be a 45-win basketball team.
Even with LeBron Jones. Well, hey, look, time's going to tell, man. We'll kind of catch up. We really haven't even gone into the draft or Colin Sexton and the future of the Cavs. But it's been a whirlwind. We've kind of had a big, a neutron bomb dropped on us here with, perhaps arguably the best player ever to lace up sneakers leaving our team for a second time when he kind of said, I don't have the energy in me to do this again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Whatever. He brought us a title. I'm happy. But
for a third time, that's whatever. All right, Brian, I will catch you later.
To be continued, Zach. You have a good day, good weekend. All right. Take care. Bye. To be continued. All right, so there goes Zach, everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit reset. I'm going to fill up my water jar here, and we're going to bring in Darren Campo. Darren Campo has, he's got some stuff to tell everybody about the World Series of Poker. Pretty nice run, pretty interesting stretch. At one point, he was even looking at flights. I'll let Darren tell the story, but there's ups and downs in the game of poker. It's a grind. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press pause. I'll come right back, get the water. So if you have any World Series of Poker questions, type them in here, and we'll be right back in just a second. Yes, and Adam Reese talking about outside of a pull-up three, Sexton struggling some tonight. F the Lakers, mistakes, Stipe, the GOAT in Vegas, Jetty Osman. And how do you get Jetty out of C-E-D-I? Isn't it SETI? How do you get Jetty? I don't know. I'm trying to learn. Got to learn all these new guys now since they're going to get a lot more playing time. All right, let me just get some water. I'll be right back, guys.